screen. Let me just check. Okay, guys, I hope you can view this. I'm not sure why actually having this. I can't see the.
We can see the screen, Doctor.
You cannot see it?
We can see it.
Okay, just give me a few seconds. I'm going to put it back. Now it's working, functioning properly. Okay. You can see it now, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So what we did last time, we briefly discussed about the symbols, and they were important just to start figuring out how to incorporate the information of any problem into a more logical sense. Then we said, okay, these has to be displayed. Accordingly, we can see that there is something called a cash flow. This cash flow, anything indicating to a positive should be upward. Anything indicating to a downward is an expenditure. And therefore, we can see that all of the elements, time, which is N, is recorded, the interest, which is I, period, as you can see, this could be year, quarter, a month, regardless. Anyhow, most of the information will be put in according to the problem given. So now we have a very good display of the problem in a very holistic point of view. Then we discussed more importance about equivalence, and we said that equivalence is just a scale to indicate whenever I deal with an economic problem, time value is considered. So when you say, what is the value of 3,000 after 3 years, you are stating at an interest rate. So a value represents the effect of this interest. Okay, it doesn't mean that it increased. No, it is the value based on the incorporation of an interest. Okay, so this is very important, and this is the meaning of equivalence. So whenever you ask something, what is the equivalence of this installment if I want to pay it one time? Right? You want to pay installments per month, per year. So I want to pay one time. When you say at an interest rate of 2%, you mean what is the value of this installment in today? Like you're doing a sum, including the interest, and saying I want it today. So what is the value? So if you, X will resemble your installments Y. Okay, so this is why they call it equivalence, and that's how they define it. Then we moved on to understanding the difference between the simple and compound, which is very important because we need to understand what we're going to be dealing in as a corporate, as an organization. Simple, as it states, is a very simple state or a statement. Basically, it is the principal original multiplied by number of years multiplied by interest. When is this applied? It's only applied whenever we have a personal loan. Personal, that means I'm going to the bank and requesting as my name. And therefore they say, okay, in that case, we don't include the magnification. What is the meaning of magnification? It's compound. Okay. Compound, that means you are trying to build upon your original. That's why they say compound. You are building. In that case, definitely the formula will change. And we said principal plus all accrued interest, and that's the meaning of building, multiplied by the interest which is given. And this is basically what we are using. It's called reducing rate. Please remember, guys, this is a reducing rate, and this is called a flat rate. So if you have any notes, put on a circle, could be multiple choice. Again, you understand what is the resemblance and how you connect it. And these terminologies are used by financial institutes. Okay, so if you're asking how do they come to these terminologies, it's all because of financial institutes. We are trying to copy what they are doing. So again, credit cards, corporate loans, corporate investments, all of them are representing compound. So what is actually happening? We said that a compound is building on top of what you are actually let me just open this one. I'm trying to open the pen. Okay. So we are building upon what we started with. In this case, this is my original. Just let me resize this. And as you can see, the effect of the interest, then it will accumulate into a new amount. And don't forget the effect of the interest that was stated. As you can see, we are compiling, and therefore what we have is a difference. And what's this difference? This resembles being a personal from a corporate. And as I said, flat interest versus reducing. So now we can just clearly understand the magnitude of the interest we look at whenever we are dealing with any future investment. Now, just to bear in our minds, I'm going to actually put in a simple video. In this video, just to comprehend what we indicated about equivalence, I'm going to start to share with you the screen just a bit. Okay. If you remember, we only had lecture. I think this is a recording of our lectures actually. Let me go back. It's in the material, class material, and we have videos. The following. And if you remember last time, I think we reached about
There is no voice, doctor.
Thank you very much. I think I forgot about the voice. Thank you. Just let me I reassigned it. Thank you.
Economics. It combines three vital concepts: the time value of money, the timing of cash flows, and the interest rate. These are combined to develop the equivalence of money over time. By definition, economic equivalence is this combination of interest rate, cash flow series, and the concept of time value of money to determine different amounts of money at different points in time that will make them economically equivalent. or in other words, equal in economic value. The interest rate that is used is very important in the concept of equivalence for engineering economics. It must be the same over time for the different amounts of money at different points in time to be equivalent. Here is an illustration. Suppose that your grandparents just offered you a gift of $1,000 today, or $1,100 exactly 1 year from now. Why? Because you made all A's and B's these past 2 semesters. Which offer should you take? Well, if money earns 10% per year, it makes absolutely no economic difference. Why? Because from an economic viewpoint, both amounts are equivalent at 10% per year. Now, you should note that your decision to accept the gift now or later is a function of the interest rate from an economic perspective. However, if you do take the $1,000 now and forego the $100 extra a year from now, you have set aside the economics of the 10% gain. However, let's suppose that money is worth only 5% per year rather than 10%. Then the equivalent amount 1 year from now is 1,000 times 1.05, or $1,050. Well, in this case, you should wait for the $1,100. Why? Because that $100,100 next year is equivalent to $1,000 now, but at a higher interest rate, namely 10%. Now for an example. Here is a cash flow diagram showing money last year, now, and next year. The interest rate is 6% per year, as mentioned here. This cash flow diagram shows that $94.34 last year, or 1 year ago, is equivalent to exactly $100 today and to $106 exactly 1 year in the future. These calculations are shown below the diagram. The amount of interest during the last year at 6% is $94.34 times 0.06, or $5.66, to make the equivalent amount now $100. Similarly, the interest at 6% for the $100 makes the amount equivalent to $106 1 year from now. In a similar fashion, different cash flow series can be economically equivalent to each other. Let's assume that $10,000 is borrowed today at an interest rate of 5% per year. Here we see 3 repayment schedules. They are all equivalent because they have a current value of $10,000 when the time value of money is considered. As you can see, the timing and amount of each repayment amount over the 3 years is different for each schedule. The techniques to determine these amounts are discussed later. Notice that the total amount repaid varies considerably from $10,500 for Plan 1 to $11,576 for Plan 3. This is because of the manner in which the interest due is determined and the timing of the cash flows. Plan 1 requires payment after only 1 year, with no repayments during the second and third year. Plan 3 allows the borrower to pay nothing for the first 2 years and pay everything at the end of the third year. This Plan 3 is accumulating interest at 5% per year during these first 2 years of non-payment, therefore increasing the outstanding balance that is due in year 3. This is the end of the presentation. We have learned concepts here that will be used numerous.
Okay, guys, he just mentioned very briefly this part, which is the compounding. As you can see, the effect of the compounding of a 5%. And what he meant is that due this period where you are not paying, it is actually compounding, and therefore a sum will not be as simple. Now, if you realize, only in the first year, it is I multiplied by 1 multiplied by the original. لأن no time movement has happened. Okay, as you can see, when the time movement has happened, here we are not paying, therefore you are requesting at a different time zone, and therefore this is compounded, and this is a simple. If you are a personal loan, in that case, the same amount will be here and will be here. اللي هي 500, 500, okay? Because you are taking a personal loan if you apply it. However, with a compound, he's saying to you, because you are not committing yourself, therefore you are requesting as an organization at a different period. If you remember, you took a loan and you're going to pay it. Now, from this period, you are not committed to any payments, so definitely this will be compound effect. And the 5% will be applied, as I mentioned earlier, and this is the total commitment in this case. Now, very important, whenever we deal with a problem, we don't draw the diagram and then fill in the space. أنت في الأخير, when you say this is present and this is future, this one you know what, 10,000, and this one you keep it unknown. Then أنت قاعد ترسم a problem. When you discover the answers, you don't go back. Okay, so as you can see, with the calculator, we'll have a very straightforward, strong, robust approach to get our final answer. Okay, so this was a good elaboration on the actual problem. Now you understand it. You have it in your recording if you want to go in the future and see it again. Can you see now the guys, the slide, what they call
Yes,
it?
Doctor.
Okay, let me just open it again because, okay, screen. Okay, so if you think about it, this is for 3 years, and I have done 1, 2, 3 calculations. What about if I have 10 years? Yeah, I'm going to spend my time calculating. Now, okay, this is an important aspect. This is a very fundamental aspect because all my problems, this is the origination of the concept. يعني هذه مهم جدا نحفظها. هاي الشيء الوحيد اللي احنا لازم نحفظه. Anything later we have the formulas that will be used either given or the calculator. So this is the fundamental. عشان يقول لك يعني أساس building up of any type of inquiry and installments, future payments, different payments. So let's look at this. We all said, and there is a common factor. Now we try to develop the future. How does it work? نقول الoriginal, we open a bracket, we put 1 plus I. Then this one gives me only, you cannot see the slides. Don't know why it's closed it.
I can't see it from my side, Doctor.
Maybe no, because it is should be seen by everybody. Just double check, Mariam, if you maybe you need to relog. Okay, log in, because I think I'm putting everything on board. So an important aspect, this is only if you have 1 year. What if I have 10 years? It's the same concept. Actually, what I'm doing, I'm only putting to the power of n. Let me refer back to what I mean. Now, what's your original? E F 1 plus I. As you can see, I'm going to end up with the following. Now, if I want to make 3 years, I just have to make to the power of 3. What about if I want to make 25 years? ما في مشكلة, only put 25. لأن this is the original type of compound. As you can see, once you put to the power, you are accumulating. Now, why did I draw the following? Because we can see that this gives you the future. Let's say this gives me 2025. What about if I want to know the value backward? If you remember, I told you I want to realize what is the value of this investment 6 years ago. أقول له ما في مشكلة. Just reverse it. يعني I could be 2021 and I want to know 20, let's say 2010. So in order for me to revert back, the only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the n and put a minus. As you can see, it is derived from the following. أتوقع أن كلكم عارفين engineering basics, so we don't need to go through. Now, again, what should we focus on? What should we memorize is this. لأن هاي مبدأ engineering economy. This is the only thing that normally, if we're not online, students will be required to memorize, لأن when they solve, they will not have this formula available. Okay. Here it says, just an example, a man borrowed 1,000 for 3 years at an interest rate of 5% per year. What is the repayment after 3 years? Now, as you know, normally students will be doing it in class. So if you look at the cash flow, he borrowed. He's going to repay. Says the word repay. يعني لو واحد يقول لي how do you know the يعني the signs? أقول له very simple. If I made a mistake at this point and I put it down, أقول والله borrowed. Repay, you cannot have both of them down. There is no sense. العملية الفاينانشال always have a reverse command. So in this case, my f is unknown. And very important, always on top, I'm going to put what is I'm trying to affect. And this is 0 and this is 3. This is here 1, 2, and 3. So this is done. Now he's saying, can you do it simple interest just to make sure the student understands the difference of application? Now, as I mentioned, Hadi is very simple. P multiplied by I multiplied by N. It's very simple. In that case, I have 10,000 multiplied by 0.05, okay, multiplied by 3. Now, if we all do this, I have
1150.
If you can write them there on the chat is better. So أنا مرة ليش ما تشتغل مالتي الكالكوليتر? Maybe it's finished البتري. I need to look at it لأن this will have a problem. I need to teach you how to use it. Anyhow, I'll have time for me to actually update it. So if you can write it to me, that's great. Thank you very much. Always remember, I have to put dollars because it's units. And when you say liters, it's not the same as you say kilos. I know the figures are the same, but again, 150. Now, if we go to the compound, surely very simple. Your F, and this don't forget, this is an F. My F is what? A P 1 plus I to the power. The only thing I'm going to introduce to the power. As you can see, what is the application? High multiplication, Hadi to the power. And if you realize, if you can help me out with this, I need to actually change this. Okay. Now, some people will say, hey, doctor, the only difference is very small, $7. I go, yes, you're right, because the amount is small. If you take 10,000, this will be 700. Now, 700 in your cash account, in your cash balance for the company, and you just give them the following, it means somebody stole 700. لأن في الأخير you are committed for 700. Okay. I don't think it is right. I think the one that is 1,157 is the right one. You cannot have this big number. You need to recheck. Again, P, my 1,000, 1 plus I. يعني شو يصير هني 1 and to the power of what? 3. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, we are using the chat to see how we are practicing, which is a good healthy type of interaction under the current situation. But overall, we are trying to learn. Now, here is an illustration. This is a simple, and as you can see, what is happening? An increment is constant. High increment, 50, 50, 50. 50 on top of another 50 is 110 and so forth. What about the compound? The compound, the magnification of it is quite or slightly increased because of to the power. Now what happens, as you can see, okay, and that's why you end up with the following. I took a wrong number. This is why you took up with the following. Okay, and this is the application, as I said, because you are not doing any payments, you are compounding and therefore you are accumulating. So this is a very clear illustration. We are not required to do such an illustration لأنها best for understanding purposes. However, the cash flow is a must لأن we describe the problem in a very holistic manner. And very important, if you remember, always I say whatever is highlighted is an importance for us. What does it say here? It says simple should never be used. And where? لأنه we are working as an organization. Because why? This is very important. The why is very important. Sometimes we ask why. For the multiple choice, you say why. Because it does not account for what? For time value. If you want to remember high time, what's happening? It's not looking at a time value. So if you're going to be asked in the future, please put a circle on this. Why? And just remember, يعني this part. Okay, guys, you keep try to keep an indication or a note, and this is very important, especially whenever we do multiple choice. So I'm going to take this out now. As you can see, and this is the end of this chapter, it was very light. What we studied is the following. I'm just going to wrap it up. The cash flow pointing up means income, means receipt. Pointing down indicates negative. The importance of difference. We are always, in the economy, will always use compound known as reducing interest. Now, why don't we use simple? is because it does not account for time value of money. Okay, so this is the whole concept. We're going to study from now until the end of chapter. What is the meaning of looking at time value effect? Now, guys, do you have any question regarding what we studied in chapter 1? And this was the fundamentals. Okay, if nobody has any comments, so we can actually meet on. I'm just trying to open the slides. Just give me a few minutes because we're going to go to chapter 2. A reminder, guys, we have all the chapters available on gonna start sharing with you guys. Okay, now what we're going to be studying. This is the most important chapter. Why? Because we're going to look at the intersection of payments, what sort of payments can be done, and how we actually can incorporate the interest. So now we started with present versus future. At the same time, whenever you put minus in, it gives you future versus present. What others type of payments are going to be encountered? So this chapter will focus on how we developed the formulas and what sort of payments. This will have also problems, and we'll start to actually feel the sense of this course. If you remember, always I start with indicating where are we. We are in chapter 2, and as you can see, it says all about how money affects time value or the value during time. What are we going to be studying, or what we're going to be covering is the following. First of all, as you can see, we already started with this, how to derive and come up using the compound the future. How can I resemble the future? I am here. I would like to be there. And a present word, based on a present, I'm going to be developing future on a single payment. High single, the 1 versus 9. And as you can see, I can as well reverse it back. I'm going to derive how to use the uniform series. Okay. Present word and capital recovery. I'm going to be explaining this in details. يعني أنا لو أنا عندي a uniform series, uniform payments. What is the total due? Sorry, I'm collecting and total due. So in that case, I'm reversing all of this payments, making sure an I is included, and then saying the effect of time value. Again here, how we actually can look at a uniform series called sinking fund and finding the future, which I just did just now. هذه أنا طلعت the future. If I want to do the present, okay, and this is a normal installments. Do you want to pay now or do you want to install it? Do you want to go to Betelco and buy the phone today from the shop, or go to Betelco and payment according to a percentage? So now I can find out P versus A, F versus A. Don't forget, I can go either way. Then we're going to speak about linear interpolation. And as you can see, we're going to follow out with throughout different things whenever we have a geometric. So what if my payments are increasing? And salary, okay, what's happening to my salary? I receive my salary and it increases every year, increases uniformly. So in that case, how do I convert this? How do I convert it into present? Or in fact, I want to make savings and I want to put in a bank. And every year it increases the bank. So how much in total I'm going to collect? And هاي طبيعي أنا قاعد أخزن أنا أحط حساب in my account. Automatically the bank will take. I'll tell them, please, every year add maybe 50 dinars. Yes, they're doing it. Now, for me, I just need to ask, what is your interest rate? Then high investment بالنسبة لي. So I can straight away find out this. ما احتاج اقول له how much I'm going to collect. These are questions that are not useful يعني, especially if I'm going to go and invest as a company, not as better as a company. You only say to them, or you check what is the average interest rate in the market. خلاص, you can do it and you present your report to the management. So again, what we try to do here is just look at different type of scenarios. Don't forget, we develop the formulas to inquire this. The calculator will do it in 2 minutes, less than 2 seconds actually, not minutes as well. Okay, because you only give the command. You put the data, you request, you want annual, okay, we'll give you annual. You want future, okay. Whatever you give me the data, I'm just going to give you your inquiry. And this is an illustration. It's useful sometimes when students want to revise. لأن يعطيك single amount type. Do you want to go find F given P? So you are given P, are you trying to seek F? Yes, this is the formula. What about if you want to reverse? Find P given F. أقول له very simple. حطها to the power of F minus F. What will happen? You are reversing. What about uniform series? Okay. Find P given A. And this is what I'm going to be teaching. And as you can see, I have A, could be A equals 500. And I'm trying to seek my present. Again, reverse it back. Arithmetic. Okay, as you can see, find LP given the gradient. Highly gradient. Find the P. So definitely we're going to have a formula and we're going to have further things to study. So starting off, we all know about this. So I'm going to go very quick over it. Okay. It says this section, which is single payment. Find P given F. I remember when I say this is a very simple logical command. تعرف انت الكمبيوتر ما في command تحط انت letters and you put hyphen مش عارف ايش بروحه يعرف what you're giving. This is the command. Whenever you put F versus slash P, it means find F given P. And as you can see, it converts. Converts what? From a present to a future over a period that you are stating. Now, okay, only the formula that I'm going to be presenting which is this one. هذه الوحيدة، لأن هاي الأساس مال كل شيء، هذه فقط. As you can see, this is the formula. We already derived it earlier. SS to the power of n will give you compound. Yes, the remaining will be given, and you have the calculator, so there is no harm. Okay. Now, how do we actually give a command? يعني أنت الحين تقول لي أنت أعطيتني command وعلمتني beginning. How about I translate my problem in a command؟ يعني في الفيوتشر أنت ما تحط لي الفورمولا، أنت تحط لي الكوماند and I know what's going on. When you present the report, you'll give me, for example, the cash flow, and you'll give me a command. This command will let me analyze what you are trying to present. Let's look at the command, how it is actually formulated. يقول, in order for me to give a command, we call it a standard factor notation. This is a standard. Whenever anybody who looks into the economy, they can look at this. This standard. F /P I N between brackets. What does this stand? X, in this case, the F represent what is unknown. So this is called find. The Y represents what's known, given. I and N represents the input parameters from the problem. So in that case, let's say this is 5, this is 0, and this is 100. What I'm going to say, he's trying to find an F. I'm going to put my amount. What I'm trying to find F given P. If you want not to make a mistake, always remember what you start with. Comma. I need to know what is the interest rate. أقول له والله here we have 3%. So I indicate with 3%. I don't put point, my point, لأن anybody will look at this, he understands your command. If you put number, point, مش عارف إيش, if you put a number here, if you write in an Excel and you put a wrong command في formula, whenever you put a formula, it will give you useless information. So we don't go and put here, for example, unknown and here put 100. ما حد يحصل لأن this is red. يعني كأنك تكتب أنت الcommand in a program. You don't interfere with the program. And then you say, okay, what is the number of years? Fine. Now, anybody looking from my perspective, translate these problems into a cash flow, puts this command in front of me, gives me an answer, whatever the answer is. It means I know what's happening. He's saying find F given P. He's using a 3%. Yes, it's right, over a 5-year. So I don't need to look at this. I don't need to look at it. Formulas are for my own purpose. احنا نتكلم report. You're going to raise a report to your management. Are you going to give them a formula? They're not interested. However, they would like to see what's going on to verify if your cash flow is meeting or not meeting your output. The only way, if this reflects this, it means sure that your problem, whatever you are giving here, okay, resembles the whole scenario. لاحظ شلون we started with a cash flow, it has symbols. Now we know something called standard notation. As you know, notation means more or less like a programming command. Now, what if we want to convert? Nothing new. Convert from what? Convert from future to present. How we did? To the pi minus power of minus n. You want to go back for 5 years? I'm going to put minus 5. What about the command? Very simple. ما يحتاج حتى حاجة. خلاص. Find what? He's trying to find P. Forward slash. Sorry. Yes. Forward slash F given. Okay. P. Find P forward slash F at an interest rate over N. بنشيل اللغة اللي تقراها أنت. How does it look like? يقول لك find P given F at the interest rate over number of years. High language. So whenever you look at this, what does it say? Find P given F at the interest rate of 2 over 6 years. So this is how I will read it. ما أقول لك يعني you can read the maths, you read the maths. So it's a very simple standard notation. The way to put it as well as the sequence is important. يعني بتحط لي قبل 6 period 6, you're going to put it in the state of the I. It makes a big difference. طبيعي. If you put this in an Excel, definitely you get rubbish answer. So guys, where students have a problem, where students make mistakes, they make mistakes in identifying N, putting it in the right sequence. They put find F given P, and the question is asking find P given F. Highly sir. That's it. You're not going to study anything more. Now, here is a good problem. We will start with it, and then we can make sure we understand. Okay, guys. Now it says if 500 euros were deposited in a bank which have a saving account, how much would be in the account after 3 years? If the bank pays 6% compounded annually. So in this case, you deposit, صح? What happens? What do you want? How much would be in the account after ما تعرف خلاص. I don't put the amount, even if I solve it, I don't go and put it in لأن I'm trying to develop it. The interest, because it's an investment, I'm depositing to get back. If you want to know what's really named, rate of return. بس هني دائما الكتاب يستخدم interest. But if you want to think in a financial aspect, it's called rate of return. أنا أحط بيزات عندك based على rate of return. If the bank paid, who? They paid me. So rate of return is 6. However, now not to complicate things, we always call it interest. طول الدراسة. Okay. So here I did it very well. So let's look at how I'm going to code it. Can anybody support me and do the code? So I'm going to have F. And then what I'm going to do, I have to put in data. I cannot just put in code. What will go to solve? We will like 500. What do you want me to do with the 500? Tell me, what do you want me to do with the 500? This is the code that whenever I solve it, it will end up with an answer, euros. So please give me the sequence. I know we all know it's very quick, but it's good to have interaction. Don't forget, if you practice, it's going to be easier for you. Like quiz. The first quiz you always have to get. أنت حاط 1 plus 0.6. Okay. Now, I'm not asking for the formula, guys. لأن باكر بتصير إحنا فنانين. I'm looking at
F/P.
Standard notation. So it says find F /P. Excellent. I'm going to look at I, which is what? 6%. Guys, don't put 0.6 رجاء لأن the command will be wrong. and then we have finally يعني لو أنا حطيت 0.06 whoever reads the command will say what's going on. The only thing number should be is period. Is this a period or is this a period? And where is the I? ما بيحلل لأن this could be 10% صح؟ شو بتحط واحد? You're gonna put 1. Think about it. You're gonna put 1. Now anybody looks at this will say what's going on? يعني first of all I don't see an interest and I see 1 and 3 and he will not try to verify. He will not try to understand your logic. انت قدمت الريبورت خلاص. Your manager will take it up to the top management. ما بيقعد يفكرون فوق ايش قاعد يقول. They'll just say this is rubbish. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. And either go and speak to him or please make sure that he is خلينا نقول يعني reminded of the concept. لأنه طبيعي. So guys, again, even if I'm saying now, students will go and make it. لأن they don't practice, and when it comes to assessment, يبون بسرعة يحلون. So, how do we solve it? نفس ما قال الأخ العزيز 500 1 plus 0.06 was important to the power of what? Of 3. Now, if you all do it, I don't know if it's solved. Can you solve it with me, guys? And أنا ما عندي الكالكوليتر and maybe I'll check if it is solved or not or check or check. Yes, solved. 595. Okay, thank you, Khalid. So, the 595, the implication of time value is 95.5. The equivalence, which is based on time value, is the increment. Okay. So now what do we have? We have, as you can see, my cash flow. I have the formula that I studied today. And most importantly, I have the language, what is called standard notation. We call it SN. If you see CF cash flow, SN standard notation. It's standard notation now. Why is it standard? لأن if I have 30 students in the class, we know that this is the following. يعني CM is a unit we all don't disagree upon. Standard notation, we will not disagree upon the format. Once you look at the numbers, me and you now, we can translate anything. Okay. يقول لي okay دكتور أنا يعني I don't want to use calculator. It's taking time. احنا عندنا في شيء اسمه interpolation. We have, as you know, factor interest factor table. واحد وحله كله. And he said the implication per interest. شنو يعني implication? Let's look at this. Here are statements. Single payment. Are you looking at find f given p, p given f? Are you looking at annuity, gradient? Whichever you look. If you remember my case, my scenario, I was looking at find f given p. Then you say what? عطني ال n. I'm looking for 3 years. So what is this in relation to it? What about the interest? يقول لك هاي 6 لأنه the book will have from 0 to 100. Once you take this number multiplied by 500 بيعطيك الإجابة. So if you say what about 1000 for 7 years on a 6%, بيقول لك والله 1000 for 7 years, I7. So this is the number I will copy, multiply by 1000. It will give me the final answer. ليش؟ anyway. And this is how the calculator is built. ما عنده شيء. هذه the information is built here. So whenever you give info, it looks at the N, looks at the I, and looks at where is the intersection, and gives you the answer. So if you give a mistake, instead of 4, you give 5. The calculator, what will do? It will take this data. هذه اللي انت شفتوها الحين دي whoever solved it solved for all the interest rates حطهم مكان is the same what is here. So that case we say remember you have the right interest. هذه the right interest, you have the right N, and you give your command. Your calculator will do the job. It will look around and say, okay, find A given F over 20 years. بيقول لك والله okay, take this number. What do you want to do with it? Multiply it في amount based on 6%. ما يحتاج. As you can see, 1 point. Is it 0 this one? Let me go backward. It says 1.1910. Always take the 4 digits. Once you multiply 500, exactly you're going to get the number we just received. So هاي بالنسبة لكم how we deal with the interpolation. So now another thing, we're going to go reverse. أنا عارف إن شوي في ناس يقول لك ليش قاعد تعيد؟ لأن as I mentioned, the more we practice, the easier it's going to be embedded. It says if you wish to have 800, have, and a saving at the end of 4 years. معناته أنا أبي أستلم. أنا عندي في بالي أبى أشتري لي خلينا نقول كمبيوتر جديد عقب 4 سنوات. So it says with an interest rate of 5%, how much should you put into the saving account now? يعني أنا لو برسم 0. What is my plan? My plan is to actually get 800. Exactly, I want 800 to buy the laptop. كأنك أنت حاط في جمعية. The only difference تقول له والله الجمعية is going to pay 5%. Now, P is unknown. So if you tell me what is this, I'm going to take from my salary and put it aside. ليش? So that after 4 years أقول لهم تعالوا أعطوني بذاتي, I want to buy a laptop. Now I'm giving you these problems in a personal. In a real life, أنت تقول له زين I want to buy a new machine, a new drilling machine. This machine could cost about 2,000 dinars. So you are planning, you're an operation manager, you plan based on what? On what you request from management. تقعد تقول له when you find out the answer بتقول له please keep it aside. ليش؟ لأن I want to buy X. That's how you propose. ما تيجي قلت عقب you come and you give me 800. It's مو بحصالة الشركة. This is an investment. You want to buy a certain upgrade. You're investing. ما يصير تقول لي تعطني بيزة الحين. Especially if it is expensive. This is what you are dealing. أنت تقول له okay. What I'm gonna do. This is my scenario as an engineer. I want to buy a new machine, and this machine I want to upgrade after 4 years. So you're gonna be drawing it. You're gonna be calling the management, saying to them, what is the interest rate you are using? يقول لك والله 5. So you're gonna come up with the final answer. You're gonna present it. Don't forget, what you will be doing is 800. صح? Now I'm looking at the code. Find P /F. What is the I? 5%. What is the years? 4. Okay. Now, as you can see, now you went backward, Ahmed. Did you put to the power of -4? And that's why I like people to actually write في chat. You did an excellent job. But what you have done, you have done the following. You actually gave me, this is 2000. What you did is the following. You put this as 800 and you requested the following. Okay. We always remember, guys, 800, 1 plus 0.05 to the minus power. صار رجع ريوس. Sorry. إيه صح. صح. Yes, you are right. Find P given F. Okay. Hey guys, حتى أنا شوية لخبطت يوم شفت الحين. It's good. So why do we do this? لأن I want it here. So I'm going backward. High amount is in the future. So guys, as I mentioned, people who practice, they learn mistakes. And as you can see, I got minus to the power of minus 4. 658. يعني if you today better deduct, you tell management to deduct 658, by sure the management will give you 800 after 4 years to purchase your upgrade. لاحظ شلون. يعني ساعات الشركة تقول لك أنا ما عندي بيزات، تقول له ما عندك بيزات؟ الحين ما عندك. حق الفول amount. Let's look at another option. What's the other option? Let's put aside a certain amount and then collect. Is it okay with you? Yes, we can do that. What do you want? Okay, put in my account or put in the company account 658, and inshallah I'll buy the upgrade after 4 years based on a return. So this is an investment. That's why 5% rate of return. You are returning, you are giving something low and you are getting higher. You are paid for your investment. What about how to write it? What about if we're going to use a table? 0.8227. Let's look at the table. What was the request? Find P given F. But this is not for 6%. Is it for 6? No, it's for 5. So we cannot use the table. We have to use the exact table for 5%. If you have the 5 here, then automatically what you're going to do, you're going to look at 4 and take the resemblance number, multiply it by 800. Okay. Overall, I'm very happy يعني مع progress. As you can see, we are taking it very slow and high fundamentals. Reaching chapter 13 or 14 and getting a wrong placement or wrong command is useless to me. I can override the cash flow لأن top management they are not interested في الcash flow. بس أنا لي كبدر to make sure that this number is right, I straight away look at the command. يعني تصور أنت تعطيني البار chart of your analysis, financial analysis, والcode that you used is wrong. I rather look at the code and verify it than look at the bar chart. How to use the calculator? It's very easy, guys. Just let me mute because it seems that somebody is needs to be muted. Okay, I'm gonna mute, guys. If you want to ask me, okay, I mute because sometimes I mute people who are there. Okay, how to use it is very simple. Unfortunately, it's not working. Okay. I don't want to, and I definitely some students didn't purchase it. Let's focus on the formula. We are doing it now manual. It is very simple. You have a button here called command. حتى اسمه compound CMPD. You click on it. يقول لك put in the data. يقول له والله عندي بيقول لك الداتا P F. Anything you have, you put it in. You don't have, leave it empty. So you have P, in this case, لا ما عندي. Let's go on to the future. You have F? Yes, I have. I have 800. Okay. You have I? Yes, I have. You put it in. In that case, you put 0.06 لأن you're dealing with figures. Do you have any? Yes, I have 4. Then you say sold. نقطة ثانية. Again, it's blue. حتى لونه sold takes few seconds and then give you 658.16. لاحظ شلون سهل. Our assessment is always based on the calculator. If you want to take lengthy time, lose out the time, يعني continue with the using the formula. Or if you want the intersection, if you can look at يعني تبرز tables. So guys, I really advise you to buy it. However, it's entirely up to you. Okay, thank God يعني هاي 5% find P given F command. You remember 0.8227. Okay. This is another example. Let me look at. Here it says an industrial engineer. Here we're dealing with real life. Received a bonus. شنو keyword received? That he want to invest. لاحظ. Now he's giving different signs. الحين هو ايش قاعد يسوي؟ He want to invest والله حصل. How do I draw the cash flow? Some people are still يقول انا اسوي كذي. He received. Sorry, he received and he want to invest. And this is 12,000. High timeline 0. What's going on? يعني حطوا 12 يعني what's going on? أقول له لا. Sometimes they give you intro مقدمة. We have to know where is the problem and where does it start and where does it end. So let's take this all out and look at this from a different. You have to read the whole problem. An industrial engineer received a bonus of 12,000. He wants to invest now. Now, he wants to calculate the equivalent value after 24 years. What does it mean equivalent value? معناته engineering economy. ما بالك يبي summation. When he plans to use all the resulting money at the down payment of an island vacation. يبي يشتري أو يبي يسافر أكبر 20 سنة. assume a rate of return. لاحظ استخدم كلمة rate of return. ليش؟ لأنه يرجع حق invest. واحد يقول دكتور مرة تنط هني مرة تنط. أقول لك لأنه it's logic. Invest rate of return. Sometimes قاعد الامبلوي يقول لك interest rate. يعني تصححها. الامبلوي he's sitting in a bank. He's still fresh. He's using wrong words. أنت قاعد تصححها. أنت you don't understand what you're saying. تقول I want to invest. يقول لك الانترست ريت مالنا. تقول لا rate of return المفروض تسميه. لا ما تقول له. Just keep quiet. So that's why the earlier question, we had an investment and he said interest rate. But in our minds, we know what's going on. So rate of return, لأنه you invest. And he wants to know how much he will gain. Assume a rate of return for each of the 24 years. Find out how much he will receive. خلاص معناته receive هاي أنا receive. Automatically يعني ما يصير عندهم اثنيناتهم upwards. There is nothing to solve. So if you made a mistake and look at he wants to receive a bonus and he put it this way, and then you end up with what are you trying to solve? تقول إن هاي الامount is again receive and receive. Who you're receiving with? So it means something is wrong, and that's why we say go and look at the problem. So in this case, عندي هني he received a bond. He will actually invest 12,000. And the I is what? In this case, 8%. and here 0, here 24. As you can see, I'm going to put 23, and between this, I don't need to fill it in. Now, what's important? I have checked it. Okay. What I'm trying to find out, automatically, ما بدون looking at F, put F here. Slash. Given. What's I? Don't forget. What about the N? What do I put here? Whatever is given. فيعني لو أحب يغلط يا أخي ما في مشكلة. شنو المعطيات مالتك? What are your parameters? What are you seeking? So this will make sure you never get it wrong. If you get it wrong, معناته still you are يعني not practicing in a manner. To solve this, guys, to the power of what? I'm looking for the future, لا? 24. Okay, guys, I think we should stop here لأن it is يعني it is sufficient what we took up to now. Just to have a quick recap. Okay, thank you very much. يعني I appreciate Ibrahim to solve it. I cannot verify it لأن ما عندي calculator, but as you can see يعني other students are verifying it. So what does it say? It says أنت يا أخي حط today 12,000. Inshallah, after 24, you will receive 7,000 or 76,094. And based on that, plan your vacation. Okay. أو أحسن من يحطها في على قولتني يعني في تجوري عنده في البيت. And after 24 years, he will take the 12,000 and use it for a vacation. No. And a lot of people, they say this is an investment. So he's dealing with it as an investment. So whenever you go to a bank, you deal with them as an investment, you deal as a corporate. Okay. حتى انت يعني you might be planning for خلينا نقول purchasing another factory. It's going to be expensive. You cannot say in one day, so you need to plan. After 6 years, 7 years, I'm gonna يعني خلينا نقول I'm gonna progress, take another location. So you have location 1, you're gonna have another location, but you need to plan. So overall, what did we learn today? It was very interesting. We learned about a formula, how it was the basis and how we actually look into the future. At the same time, how we could go back through time to identify a value. Then we moved on to the standard notation, which is very important. And again, standard notation is a language. It's a programming language that we should know it. And it is always in the point of find x given y at I over n. We also learned about a table, that there is an existing table, and this table uses interpolation. And once you actually identify the data, هاي راح يقول ليش يا دكتور interpolation؟ لأن ساعات يكون الانترست 6.7. So you're going to have 2 readings. صح؟ What do? You interpolate. الكالكوليتر الحمد لله. That's why I say to you in the future يعني when you have problems without the calculator بيصير عندك يعني شاول بيصير عندك عفسة. لأن it will refer back to interpolation. And in the future also you'll have very complicated annual series. الفورمولا مالته very complicated. We'll not go into it. I'm just going to show it to you so that you are familiar with it. يعني سبحان الله ساعات في التست أو في الفاينل الكالكوليتر يوقف يخترب. So what you're going to do? You're going to stop your assessment? لا. You can see high. Look at this. So you have to practice. لأن لو سبحان الله اخترع بالكالكوليتر, what are you going to do? Especially if there is going to be a physical attendance. صح؟ توقف ترفع يدك ما عندك كالكوليتر ما ينفع الحكي لأن this is given guys. High given. Automatically this is given. لأن it's not our duty to memorize formulas. We memorize the bases and then we say okay, we understand derivative of it. So by reaching this point, I think we are doing very well, progressing very well. I can see people participating. It means in the knowledge is gained. Do you have any question, guys?
دكتور
Yes.
يعطيك العافية كل شيء واضح بس في شوي confusion من ناحية الريفيرس بس.
In which sense? إن يعني
الفور
5p given f or 5
minus
okay.
yeah.
Just let me this one. Now, if we are looking at finding a future amount, okay. If we are trying to search for a future amount, احنا تعلمنا from the basis and this is the actual formula to compound over a period. ليش؟ لأن when you put it to the end, it means you are compounding. What you are trying to receive in the future is based on your original to the effect of compound. How about if I want to reverse? يعني, as I mentioned, I want to put money today to receive in the future. يقول لك according to the formula, what do we normally do? احنا عادة we reverse it, صح؟ نحط واحد على the problem في anything. يعني as you can see ال F1 divided, لأن أنت تتذكر يعني هي مولة تطلع دي برا شو بيصير فيه؟ تحطه على واحد. المعاملة اللي نعرفها دائما. You reverse the equation. Now if you reverse the equation تحط واحد على هاي. So you're gonna start opening the factors. You will end up لأن هاي تحت صح 1 divided by this. If you know, if you want to take it upward شو يصير فيه؟ تحط minus n. ترى هذه هو الأساس احنا اشتقينا منه الريفرس. لأن I don't want you to memorize 1 over 1 plus I to the power of n, which is basically, which is what's this, لا؟ أقول لك والله normally if you convert it according to the mathematical solution, put it to the power of minus n. لأن أنت بتودي من تحت تودي فوق. هاي لأن بالشيء اللي تودي فوق شيء يتغير. Already you have f out of the bracket. Okay, guys. So this is an important aspect. I think now, if it's confused to you, you should be understanding المبدأ ماله إنه حصلنا لأن إحنا we are reversing الفورمولا وإحنا عارفين 1 divided by النورمال formula. أنت عشان ترفع هاي توديه فوق لازم تحطه to the power of minus n. Again, what's important to me is just basically having the present given the future. Okay, I think this is يعني should be يعني clear. If you still have a doubt, you can go back to the book and read about اللي احنا قلناه في chapter 1. إذا تتذكر chapter 1 كان في ال 1011 sorry 100,000 عقب 100,010 عقب 100,031 بيراويك المبدأ شلون ارتفع. عقب انت once you want to go backward برأيك المادة شلون احنا حاطينه to the power of minus n. Okay guys, now wish you all the best. If you have also further questions, by all means at the beginning of next lecture we can proceed. Now I would like to remind you guys that next lecture on Wednesday I will not be giving the lecture. I'll have a commitment. However, we're going to reschedule it.